Alright, this lady here, she, well, my replies start at the bottom and go up. And they're posted, basically, I paused every time she got done speaking a sentence to fill her in on what actually happened. You guys can go ahead and pull this back and pause it if you want to read this stuff. Hopefully it's high enough quality to do so. If it's not, I do apologize. Now this lady here, she did this on September 12th of this year, so it's just barely over a month old. 505 views, and the first 10 minutes of it is just her regurgitating the same slander as everyone else. It's basically Tiffany Wild's video, except plagiarized and 2 years later. Without email addresses, I can't really send the evidence that I'm telling the truth to people. If I post it up on here, there's a chance that I might get in trouble. That kind of sucks. But I'm used to having my Facebook shut down, and I had my YouTube destroyed once already. They think they can destroy the truth, but they can't. Now this is this woman's site. She is totally into death. Mostly Chris Watts. She's into paranormal stuff, demons, and things of that nature. All the demons I know are people, all the angels too. So that's the world I live in. Yes, if I keep speaking out, people will continue to report on it, and that's a good thing. That means it keeps it forefront in people's minds. When it turned out that I didn't stalk Natalie, people just kept on pushing the stalking thing. Her family kept on harassing me and threatening me, and some of her family tried pretending like they wanted to help. They weren't interested in helping. What they were interested in was framing an innocent man. They weren't interested in stopping any of this. Otherwise, they would have asked people to stop, but they didn't. And their slander was allowed in court, but I wasn't. I wasn't allowed to go to my own court dates. Imagine that. What possible reason could police have for going out of their way to illegally prevent me from going to court? What possible motives could they have? It's a good question to think about, isn't it? Of course, I spoke out about the things that happened to Natalie and the things that happened to me for years and years, because here's the thing, it's not isolated to Natalie, it's not isolated to me. Most of the homeless people grew up in the system just like Natalie and I. Most of them had bad parents and family that doesn't care, just like Natalie and I. They care after she's dead, don't they? They're sad, they wish that Joseph Lopez had called a hospital and so on and so forth. Well, with all due respect, I want to rescue her from her family, from her being suicidal over how her family treated her. I want to rescue her from that, to give her some reprieve from that, at her request back in 2016. Her mother's opinion was more important than the truth. and they slandered the hell out of my name. And guess what? I'm still speaking out. They wanted to harass me and threaten my life, and then they want to whine like mules. Well, you reap what you sow. I was a good man, but no matter how good I was, it wasn't good enough. People will throw a good man away over a little bit of meth, or a little bit of heroin, or a little bit of penis. But the slander was loud in the courtroom. People who had taken part in the harassment and the threats and the severe mind games were allowed to speak in court, were allowed to have their words prevent me from having an honest court date. And those words were a slander. And no public pretender was willing to do their job. I am ashamed of this country.